Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, November 6th, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I dig into understanding power. More specifically, I dig into understanding my power. And today, we've got shift. Shift is happening. We are working with the node energy, the nodal energies moving into Cancer, really working that, I believe staying there after some oscillations. I like that word. And we're working with Uranus. Uranus shifting into Aries. Uranus will be hanging tough in Aries into 2019. So we're going back in. We spent basically the last 7 years working on this energy of Uranus and Aries, and it's back, and it's like, hey, there's some more things you've got to get. I feel like it's so divinely orchestrated. I say this so many times, but it's such a dance. It's like, oh, the nodes are in Cancer and Capricorn. We need to interact. We need to work. It's so crazy because the nodes go in, they go reverse. So the North Node in Cancer is at 29 degrees, South Node in Capricorn 29 degrees, and because Uranus is retrograde, it is there in Aries at 29 degrees. So this energy is very powerful. Not to mention, it is also working with Venus, which is retrograde in Libra. It's like, oh, we have to get the cardinal signs. We've got to get this foundation in place. As I was driving today, it just hit me how strong of fundamental lessons the cardinal signs have for us. And it's really fascinating to me that they all are interacting at these late degrees of the cardinal signs during this time. We need to dig into this because this is going to be some of our foundational work that's going to be pushing us. So, Uranus and Aries. One of the things that I talked about with Chiron in Aries was discovery, uncovery, recovery, healing of your I am on the soul level. And Uranus and Aries, we really have been working on figuring out who we really are and allowing ourselves to be that. Uranus energy is that liberation. So with Uranus and Aries, we are being called to allow ourselves to be who we are here on this planet, in this incarnation, at this time now. But Aries, part of that cardinal square, cardinal participation ship, Aries is the place where we focus on ourselves and hopefully not just the layers that we've allowed ourselves to show ourselves as, but to really dig into who we are as the soul and bring that forward and know the importance of that. There's a lot of things that say ego, identity, put them aside. And it's because we have so much falseness in that identity energy and in the ego. But really, we do want to dig into our I am because you have something as an individual, that's probably the perfect word for Uranus and Aries, your individual self that needs to be brought forward, that the world is looking for, waiting for. So there's Aries. I am. Then we have Libra, which is being worked right now by Venus. Venus and Ceres, actually, at those late degrees of Libra. So the Venus energy and the Libra energy together, it is relationship, which is one of the fundamentals on this planet. Like I've said before, you can choose to be celibate. You can choose to not be in a romantic relationship. You can even try to hermit yourself on a mountain and be all alone. You're still going to have relationship. There's always the relationship that you have with yourself. There's always the relationship that you have with the earth. There's always the relationship that you have with your ancestry. And there's always the relationship that you have with God, universe, spirit. Relationship is one of these very important foundations. We have to know who we are. We have to be true to that Aries energy, to be true in relationship. But relationship is an important piece that plays a part in all this, balancing us. Then we have the nodes, or the signs of Cancer and Capricorn, where the nodes are lighting up. We'll go with Cancer right now because Cancer is where the North Node is. And this is where we do want to work our energy. We want to work to move ourselves to work with that source energy. Cancer, home, everybody Even if you are a hermit crab and mobile, everyone needs that home energy, home, family, foundation, and it's our feelings. It's where we dig in to, again, a very fundamental, important part of ourselves. Our feelings help show us which way we're moving in the world. Yes, this is good. Oh, this hurts. We need to be able to tune into our feelings. So Cancer holds that very important energy. Again, home. Plus, it also holds the past. It's like the roots of the tree, digging into what has been our ancestry, our legacy. I even see it as past life energy. So we're digging into that. It is intuition. But it's home. It's having that home base right there. Digging in, allowing Earth to be the home. There we have Zorba the Buddha sitting on the Earth. And then we reach. I love, one of my favorite images of the zodiac is of a tree of sorts with the roots down in the 4th house, the house of Cancer, Cancer energy, reaching up into Capricorn, the house of purpose, what we're meant to grow into. And that's what we need to tune into with the South Node in Capricorn, is that we all have a purpose, and we can tune into it by going into the roots. Rather than reaching into what society tells us and all of the shoulds that have been pushed upon us by relationships, we have to tune into ourselves and keep reaching into the truth of our purpose. But it comes from source, from that foundation energy. Here's your trail right here. How perfect is that? So these energies are so amazing how they are working us at this time. What you need to be really aware of in and through this is who you really are. Your I am energy, your soul energy, digging into that. And are you being true to that? Is every step that you're taking making you true to your purpose energy, how you're moving forward? Or is it pulling you into the shoulds? Is it pulling you off the path? And to be fair, that has lessons too. We always say that. There's lessons there. But this is what this work is really about. So Uranus in Aries is hopefully shaking off any of those layers that are still there, that are keeping us from the soul truth energy that we really need to embody at this time. Now, Uranus in Aries, one other thing to mention. I said this the other day, but just important to note. Uranus is very electrical. Aries is fire. So when Uranus and Aries come together, it can be very fiery. And I think it's one of the places where we tend to protect ourselves most. Is, when somebody threatens who we are, or possibly even our ego or identity energy, we can get very upset. Our volcanoes can get lit up. Rather than protecting those energies, just keep working with your individual power, the love of your soul, to keep moving into who you are with this energy. But realize there are going to be those ego flare-ups when buttons are pushed in and through this energy. Aries is the sign of war, and I love at the end of the scope every day saying there is enough love in the world for you, because I believe that every war, while it may look like a power game, on some level, there's some lack energy going on, and lack has the power. And so it's like, oh, I cannot lack this thing, I must have this thing. And so we need to be very aware of the powers that be in and through this. The last thing I want to mention about Uranus and Aries. Uranus is very electrically stimulating. Aries is the sign that rules the head. So I noticed during the final degrees of Uranus and Aries, and as Chiron was working its way into it and finishing or moving into Aries, a lot of head stuff was coming up. I heard of people at very young ages being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. My mom went through her thing, she essentially went kind of crazy. Our nervous systems are very, very, very sensitive to this energy, including our head. I noticed today, I was like, I feel it coming. My eye was twitching, and I was like, my nerves, they notice. So this is really important time for grounding. Again, tending to your volcanoes, noticing what your nervous system needs. With Uranus shifting, being at 29 degrees, We also may have a little bit sleep issues. Here's an interesting thing. The Schumann chart, I don't know what it's called, resonance thing, it goes crazy with Uranus and Mercury connections. Like anytime Uranus does something or Mercury does something, I see another post, oh my God, the Schumann thing's going up. These electrical energies, they affect the earth as well as ourselves. So just be very aware of that. Grounding, tending to the stuff. All right. So what else? Oh my goodness. New moon tomorrow. New moon, not on Wednesday. This new moon is in Scorpio. So it's still bringing us back into those Scorpio lessons, the lessons of power. And I want to remind you of what we did learn through this North Node in Leo, and that is the power of love. So to me, this new moon, even though I have not looked at the Sabian symbol for it yet, that's where it's pushing us. I love that it's actually at 15 degrees, which is 6, which is Venus energy, which is that love energy. But we're building into that. And right now, things around power may be coming up. Things around survival, your root chakra, may be coming up. Fears. What I told a friend just right beforehand, a Scorpio, I said, your love is more powerful than pain. Your love is more powerful than your fear. Your love is more powerful than any pain you may be in. Your love is more powerful than even your anger. So if you're having things come up in and through all this, which I'm sure you will, just remember that. So let's just look into this these astro connections before I finish up. Oh my goodness, sorry, I know this is long, but powerful energies. The moon is finishing up in Libra. Its last connection in Libra is with Venus and Ceres, and that's like 12 a.m. Pacific time, first part of Tuesday. Moon connecting with Venus, it can be super loving, but it also can feel a little bit empty. If you are feeling any emptiness come up. Ceres is also hanging out there with Venus, that mother energy, self-care. If you're feeling empty at all, apply some self-care for yourself. Moon is then shifting into Scorpio. That is at 5 a.m. And I love this. The moon will oppose Uranus at 5:03 a.m. Technically, the moon moves in at 5:02 a.m. and will oppose Uranus at 5:03 a.m. Did I say a.m.? They're both a.m. in case I said p.m. So I'm like, whoa, Uranus is right there on the precipice. Its last connection is with that moon. And that moon is like, remember your power. Remember your worth. Remember who you are. As it goes back into Aries, take your worth with you. Take the lessons that you have learned around your worth and your power back into this Aries energy as you display the ultimate light, love, and power of your soul. Let's see. We then have the moon in Scorpio connecting to Saturn. Saturn in Capricorn. Again, remembering your power and not getting pulled into the shoulds. And maybe noticing those places and times where you have been pulled into the shoulds, why that's happened. That connection's at 5 degrees, and 5 really brings understanding. There's a lot of understanding energy that can possibly come out, like aha moments. Oh, I get it. And sometimes we just need that understanding to shift things. It helps me. Last connection, it's a doozy and I like it. Mars is connecting to Lilith in Aquarius. And that's just powerful. Lilith is reminding us of the message. You can go your own way. You can wave your freak flag. You're here to be true to yourself. You're here to be true to your soul. Please do as you interact with these cardinal energies. So I feel like that is good for today. So book a reading. Jupiter into Sagittarius next. Here it comes. Oh my goodness. You can book a reading for that to work with this powerful light energy. So that is $33. Email me for that or any other reading you can email me for if you have any questions. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. And there is enough love in the world for you. And you have the power. Namaste.